This will harvest your blubber.
Jesus Christ.
Deep. Home there.
Hey.
Hey.
What happened?
They killed her. They fucking killed her, man.
What?
I just was trying to help out, you know. I got some intel and the bullet just trying to cut him off. And
Okay.
fuck, I just ran right into her. I'm so sorry. I was just like, I tried to stop him. I tried to cut him off.
Okay. Hey. So you're saying there's people with the terrorists? Look at me. You're saying they're not alone?
I think so.
All right. Did you get a good look at them, or?
Not really. I was too busy worrying about Lucy.
Right. Lucy.
But I think they went off in the storm drains. Can't be too far.
Who invited you exactly?
Starlight, listen, what I did was unforgivable. I'm going to do everything in my power to renew my light. Not just for you, but for all the female people that I've offended.
Renew your light? Did you just fucking join the Church of the Collective?
Maybe.
You're an idiot.
Hey, easy on the religious persecution, okay, new girl? Starlight. Maybe one day you can welcome me back into the Seven. I know my road is long and hard.
Are you serious? There is no fucking way you're coming back.
All right, sir. You have no idea how excited I am to get to talk to you because there's a raging tropical storm going outside here in Puerto Rico, and I was so dying to get to talk to you about this show.
Oh, God, be safe, man. Jesus.
Yeah, safe inside. Let me ask you this. Given that you had the experience of directing one of the episodes the first season, did that change your experience of what you thought was possible or what you did as a writer for season 2 at all, given that you got to know what it was like to shoot an episode?
No. I spend a lot of time on set, and I work really closely with a lot of different directors. So, I think I have a pretty healthy view of what it takes to make the show. I mean, obviously directing's the best. It's so much more fun than writing, and to be able to just work it out with the actors is something that I truly love, and I don't do often enough.
Yeah, no, I was more thinking of like, oh, we can do this, and I'm going to write much, much more sequences because your episode turned out so great. Let me ask you about the tone. The tone is such a delight with this show, and in season 2, it doesn't disappoint. Is that easy to channel, finding the groove, or talk to me about the challenge of that?
I would say the biggest challenge with the tone is, obviously there's so many disparate things. It's insane, and then it's emotional, and then it's satirical, and then it's dark. And to me, the compass that pulls all that together is, we just try to create the most realistic show we can. Like, if superheroes really existed in our current this minute world, what would that be like? And that generally helps us figure out how to steer it, because the note I give more than any other note is that's too broad. Like that's just too big or silly. And you have to pull it down into like, what's the reality of how that would really work? Both in the terms of the violence, in terms of, a lot of the things that goes on, like the way they're obsessed with marketing points, and, everything is about what's the most realistic version. And then that usually steers us in the right direction.
Well, let me ask you this. Given that there is some sort of criticism to the publicity and the marketing aspect, do you feel that the junket experience is depicted correctly in the second episode of the season? How are we treating you so far?
That's an excellent question. So far, so good. But by tomorrow afternoon, I will be ready to kill myself. And and yes, I think it is a very accurate depiction of that world. It's a lot, but we're happy to do it. We're lucky to be here. I mean, part of it is, part of what I loved about that junket is like their false feminism. Like they're just girls get it done, and it's just such bullshit for them.
Yeah, the talking points as opposed to a real conversation. That's what we're talking about. So let me ask you this: the characters in the show is an embarrassment of riches, and you add on another villain in this one. Like, how do you balance that to sort of serve all the characters correctly within the season? Because that must be...
It's hard. It's funny. I think you actually, it's a great question, because I think you put your finger on, I think, probably one of the hardest things of writing the show, which is there's just so many fucking characters and they're all interesting. And so I have the opposite problem I usually have, which is usually I'm like struggling of like, how do I fill these pages with enough story? I have the opposite problem now, which is we have so much story, and it lays out that every episode would be 2 hours if we didn't, figure out how to play it. So it requires an incredible amount of economy of how do you tell a story as simply as possible? How do you combine stories so that you can just manage it in a 53-page script? Because there's 12 characters to service, and they're all going through real shit. So that's finding that balance is honestly probably the hardest part about writing the show.
No, but you do it really well. So my time's up. Please decompress tomorrow because you got season 3 to worry about.
Okay,
you're doing great so far. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Stay safe down there.
Thank you.